They don't do that here.
But the queen rise to the top.
All right, let's fucking boogie. The ultimate effing casual. We're back, baby. All up in your ears. Gentlemen, how are we? This wonderful Sunday.
Doing all right. Hope everyone is too.
Hanging in there. I'm getting smoked in fantasy football.
Oh.
What are your duds that you drafted? You just have not been performing. The whole team.
Not been good. My issue is that I can't seem to figure out who's going to have the winning points. I've had the winning points on my bench 3 of the last 4 weeks, and I've not won one of those games. So
there's been a lot of upsets this year in the NFL so far.
Well, actually, speaking of upsets, let's start with a little bit of boxing talk here. On September 21st, I don't know how to put this into words. Daniel Dubois sparks Anthony Joshua. It was pretty rough. It's pretty rough to watch.
Yeah, this was, I would classify this as a steamroll. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah,
this not remotely competitive.
Exactly what I was gonna say. It wasn't even close. It's like AJ didn't. What does he have a twin brother that we don't know about? That is a bodybuilder as well, but doesn't box. Because that's who it looked like. It looked like someone who had no idea what they were doing.
And it was really strange seeing his sort of like mini career resurgence he had since losing to Usyk the second time, right? Like it seemed like he had gone back to his
roadman
not
Femi.
Swinging for the fences. Yeah, but not just like swinging for the fences and trying to impose his size, but more like leaning on his Olympic sort of background and being defensively responsible, not overextending, just like waiting for the knockout to come to him. And then in this fight, he just immediately comes out swinging for the knockout, hands are at his sides, and then he gets clocked in the first round, and the fight's basically over after that. Like everything else after that knockdown was just like extra fun because he never recovered from it.
No, he didn't.
Yeah. He's like another Wilder type. Like he just, if he gets hurt, it seems like he stays hurt. Like his legs are just gone from that point on. And I mean, because you could say, I mean, he tried to. It seemed like in his corner and like even during the fight, he was trying to hype himself up. Like he kept taunting Dubois. He kept even in his corner, he kept talking to his coach saying, Dubois is not shit. Dubois is not shit. He was even talking to the crowd, talking about, I'm okay, I got this. But his words were saying things that his body wasn't backing up. Because Dubois, like you guys said, from the moment he got hurt, it was over. That was pretty much it. He kept getting steamrolled from that point on.
Does Dubois go into the top 5, top 3? I mean, the division's
He's got to
weak.
be top 3.
Yeah, the division's
heavyweight.
weak, so top
heavyweight,
5.
yeah.
But yeah, top 3, probably. Right?
I'd put him at 3rd. I think there's a strong argument for 3rd for Dubois.
Does the Fury fight happen after this? AJ Fury?
It's still a big
makes
fight,
sense.
but they probably sell out Wembley again.
Yeah.
If they made that fight, so I think there's a lot of money in that fight. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, Fury is getting old now and everything.
He's gonna get
he might
whooped
even
by
be
Usyk again.
Yeah, I think Usyk's gonna win that. But if Fury beats Usyk, is that fight still possible? I mean, I'm saying this knowing Fury takes fights with Chisora, like he does a trilogy with Chisora. But I mean, so anything's possible. But I just feel like maybe some of the steam has left that fight.
It'll be a cash out, I think. If nothing else, it'll be like a treat for the British fans that we over here are gonna be like, those two suck. What are we doing?
Yeah, it's really a lot of it's gonna ride on what happens with the Usyk Fury rematch. But either way, I mean, I could definitely see Fury winning denying Usyk a trilogy and saying, "Oh yeah, I'll go fight AJ," even though he could go get undisputed against the harder fight in Dubois. That seems like a very Fury move.
What world is this? The harder fight in Dubois.
We would have never believed this years ago.
Welcome to
We would have never
heavyweight
believed
boxing.
this.
Yeah, no shit.
Let's not gloss over the fact that, like, what a turnaround for Dynamite Daniel Dubois.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
absolutely.
We were convinced this guy had negative dog, and
Yep.
that was evidenced by the Joyce fight where he gave up after a jab, and the Usyk fight where he also gave up after a jab and looked like he just had no grit. He wouldn't bite down on the mouthpiece and just
Keep going.
keep swinging,
Yeah.
keep pushing forward. He just crumbled. But this fight, he had, even when he got rocked in the 5th round, right before he scored the counter knockout,
Kept his cool.
that could have been a moment where his spine could have left him, but it didn't.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
he kept his cool. That's how he got the counter uppercut or whatever
Yeah.
that put AJ down.
We saw glimpses of that confidence, like during the press conference and like a little bit during fight week and at other times. Like he was even talking more assertive in what he was saying. I mean, there was a little bit more confidence. I still thought AJ, would have the advantage, but I don't know. This might be a different Dubois now. Like Dubois with confidence might be a different dude.
Mythical
that's what's on
fighter.
the fight. Yeah, Dubois with non-shy Dubois.
Conor McGregor, notorious pre-Mayweather.
Yeah, non-billionaire McGregor. Yeah.
Anything more before we keep it trucking?
This GG for Dubois, man. That's great performance.
We were saying the last time when we were talking about it, the preview time, this has to be wraps for AJ, right? Like this, I don't think there's any rebounding from this.
I mean, he was talking about the rematch. I don't know if they do it. Like he would sort of have a resurgence if he beat him, but I don't know. It seems like his confidence is shot. Like AJ, the old AJ seems like he's gone. Like I don't know. He might be in the same category as like Wilder is now, like sort of washed.
Yeah. Not to be too hyperbolic, but Lennox Lewis had a pretty wild loss and came back and beat the shit out of the guy. So who knows?
Yeah, like Nathan said, anything's possible at heavyweight.
Anything's possible at heavyweight. Anybody can get touched. The day before, on the 20th, Jaime Munguia, previous Canelo opponent. Do you think he showed new wrinkles against Bazignan, relatively unknown guy? I felt like Bazignan was boxing pretty intelligently, and it was giving Munguia some trouble in the beginning. But body work pays off in the later rounds.
We already knew Munguia had like dog, but like in that 10th round, whenever his corner told him, like we need these last 3 rounds, like Munguia locked in. I maybe we saw like championship round Munguia, like that he could clutch. Because as soon as his corner told him that, he immediately went and got the knockout. Obviously with, like you mentioned, the body work that he invested early on. But, that was a good fight. And that was I would not say that was an easy fight.
Absolutely not.
Like, he was getting touched up.
Yep.
A fair amount.
And last boxing thing. On the 4th coming up, Janibek Alimkhanuly, I believe that's the way it is fighting a relatively unknown Aussie dude, Mikhailovich. And Johnny Beck is one of boxing's many faults, the 4 major titles. Johnny Beck holds 2, and then 2 other guys hold 1 and 1, respectively. So Johnny Beck is kind of the big fish in a little pond here. Middleweight is pretty dry at the moment. So I don't know. I think we're gonna see Johnny Beck style on some dude for some kangaroo dollars.
Yeah, hopefully this sets up some type of unification fighter or something.
Yeah. If you want to keep track at home, so Johnny Beck has IBF and WBO. In this fight in particular, only the IBF is going to be on the line. IBF is the red one, WBO is the maroon one. The WBC, the green one, is Carlos Adames, and then WBA, the black one, is Erislan Lara, both of whom are not very good. But their holding titles is a testament to the middleweight division being pretty lackluster.
I just had this thought. What if Janibek's future is being the guy that gets Terrence Crawford his fourth belt,
Oh,
his fourth division belt? Because that totally makes sense.
Oh, 160.
oh.
I don't know, because Bud. I mean, we were talking about it in like different chats, but Bud's ceiling might be 154.
I think so too.
So I think that fight becomes a lot more interesting if he goes to 160, because I know it's only 6 pounds, but that's a different topic. You're not just talking about boxing skills anymore.
He's no longer, as Kendrick Lamar put it, whooping feet. If he goes to 160, he'll be competitive with really the only good fighter at 160, Johnny Beck. I don't think for that reason, I don't know if that's the title he'd go for.
Yeah, I think if he jumps up in weight, it would be for a Canelo fight only. I think that's the only time we'd see him go past 154.
If he wants another division title, then fucking Adames or Lara are much easier.
Lara retirement fight.
Yeah, complete with an Eminem concert.
A full cash out for Lara. Honestly, Lara, get that bag. Get that bag.
All right, let's get into some mixed martial arts. This one's going to be a little bit light on reviews because all we got is the Dana White Contender Series Week 6. That was really it. And I didn't update this because I didn't watch it, so I don't know. Is there anything that did I miss anything? Were there other events that I didn't see?
No, I don't think there was any like PFL or like Bellator.
PFL Middle East North Africa, the playoffs. Oh. I remember I cut in the last time the info on the fights because I was able to find it, and yeah, I didn't look into. There was, from what I could tell, there was no way to watch it in the U.S. Well, no legitimate means. Yeah, the Middle East playoffs. The finals are
no legitimate way. Okay.
Yeah, I am pretty certain.
It's not meant for our eyes,
I guess. All right, like before, I was able to find the results for the MENA PFL tournament semifinals here. So going down the list, Abdel Rahman Al Hayasat gets the decision over Abdullah Al Khatani, and Marouane Belagout gets the decision over Islam Reda. Those are the two featherweight semifinals. Omar El Darfrawi stops Jarrah El Silawe, and Mohammed Al Raqqa gets the decision over Amir Fasli. Those are the two welterweights. Mohsen Mohammed Saifi and gets the decision over Suhail Tahiri, and Georges Eid stops Omar Reguigui. Those are the lightweights. And finally, Ali Taleb stops in the first Jalal Al-Daja, and Rashid El Hazumi gets a decision over Elias Boudegzame. Those are bantamweights. So difficult to find more information besides the results, but from what I was able to find, the Taleb first round KO was pretty cool. So I'm gonna try to find it, but I don't know. If I do, I'll try to post it on the socials or something. The other two fights that were on the card, Malik Basahel, the amateur flyweights, Malik gets the decision over Sahir Kasmie, and then featherweights, Adam Meskini, decision over Yazid Hassanain. I think I did those right. All right, let's get back to it. Looking at this, there was a Cage Warriors Invicta. Cage Warriors again.
Dude, I've known about Invicta for a while. I don't know where to watch it though.
I don't either. Is it on Fight Pass?
Maybe. Pass, I mean, I know they have like some UFC connections, but I've never known.
Fight Pass and DAZN have like a shitload of lower level MMA. Yeah, that's it. Into recaps here. It's not a bad outlook here. On Tuesday, October 1st, there's going to be a pretty high level exhibition fight between JD Vance and Tim Walz. Yeah,
I know the nation's really excited for that one.
I'm just fucking up my own ass with excitement. Dana White's Contender Series Week 8. From the top down, Dr. Nurgaze versus Bartos. Oh, God. Sweat. Bartos, I'm sorry, buddy. Light heavyweights. Adriel Montez versus Carlos Calderon Feathers. David Martinez, Xavier Franklin Bantams, Taurus Finney, David Rami Middles, Jacoby Smith, Christian Savoy, welterweights. Better not be Savoy, dude. The French be taking L's, man, which we'll get to in a little bit. On the 4th, this is gonna be Friday evening, one fight night. The headlining is the lightweight kickboxing title, Alexis Nicholas versus Reggian Yurcel. And there's other fun stuff down the card, but I'm not gonna. I just fucked up a Polish name. I'm not gonna fuck up these Thai names too. There's only so much embarrassment I can take in one recording session. All right, the fucking meat of the dish. October 5th at the Delta Center in Salt Lake City, Utah. UFC 307. Good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, from the bottom up, is there anything in the early prelims?
Let me see this.
We got
UFC.
Cesar Almeida, Ihor Potieria at middle, Court McGee, Tim Means at welter, Marina
That could be a good
Rodriguez,
fight.
yes, versus Yasmin Lucindo at straw, Ryan Spann versus Ovin Sampru, light heavy.
Ryan Spann used to be a name. He's sort of fallen off, but actually OSP used to be a name too.
Yeah,
That might turn into a little scrap, but
Yeah, that could be a little swan song for
Yeah,
some
absolutely.
contenders, now pretenders.
yeah, these guys. I mean, this might be who gets cut, who stays type thing.
Yeah, loser leaves town.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Oh yeah, Carla Esparza retiring too, right? I think she said this is her last fight.
I think, yeah. So, yeah, into the prelims. From kicking off the prelims, Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista. Rated.
How stacked is? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say
Sure.
rated 10th and 11th at Bantam.
I was like, how stacked is this card? That's your first official prelim fight.
No shit.
Yeah.
Can't do Aldo dirty like that. Come on.
Yeah, they must have beef with Aldo or something. I feel like because that should have been high.
Carla Esparza versus Tessia Pennington, strawweight. I'm assuming that Tessia's related to Raquel.
Yeah, I think they're married.
Oh,
I
shit.
think it was somewhat recently too.
All right, cool. So that's a strawweight fight. And Nate Landwehr versus Austin Hubbard, lightweights.
All right, this is gonna be a scrap. Both of these dudes, Austin Hubbard, I know from the Ultimate Fighter show, and Nate Landwehr, like I've seen a few of his fights. These guys, like, it's gonna be like pure aggression, just like a scrap, proper scrap. Like I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a good fight. Both of these guys always take damage in their fights.
Yeah, Nate. I was thinking correctly. He had a pretty big KO in his last outing back in March.
Nate the Train, man, that is.
Is that what he goes by?
That's his nickname.
That's
I
a
think,
pretty
Nate the
cool
Train.
nickname.
Yeah, he's funny on the mic too.
Yeah,
That should be a good fight.
And capping off the prelims, is this Wonderboy, Steven Wonderboy Thompson? And versus Joaquin Buckley, rated 9th and 11th. Oh, shit.
This is a good fight. This is sort of like old guard versus new guard.
Yeah, Joaquin Buckley I've seen come up. Steven Thompson's like a bit before my time, like his heyday was. I don't know if I don't think I've seen him fight. If I have, it was once, and it was relatively uneventful.
I think you may have seen him versus Shavkat.
That's the
where
one.
Shavkat kind of ragdolled him.
Yeah.
He also fought Burns not too long ago. He fought Bilal too, I think. Wait, no. I know he fought Burns. He might have fought Bilal, but I'm not sure.
I mean, this is a scary fight for Thompson, just considering his age and how hard the Buckley hits. But
Yep.
Buckley is the type of style that Thompson could still win against. Like, he
Yeah.
really has aged very well. As an MMA fighter, most guys don't get off that well. I guess he just takes really good care of his body and trains well. But anything that stays up striking, he's going to have a chance at winning that. So this should be quite the barn.
Yeah. See, yeah, that should be a good fight.
All right. Now, in the main event, in the main portion of the card, kicking us off, Roman Dolidze 10th, Kevin Holland 15th. This is Kevin Holland's
go.
middleweight fight of the year, right? He starts the first one at welter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he bounces around wherever they need him. He's there.
That's right. He's a company man.
Yeah.
Oh, hey,
Dolidze
just
is
real
nice.
quick. I think this is just an update to the main card. I think the Aldo fight has been moved up to third, so he's not opening the prelims.
Oh, goodness. Thank
Okay,
you.
that's good. Yeah.
All
I
right.
was wondering if they were going to do that. Yeah.
You would at the very least want that capping off the prelims before going into the paid portion.
Yeah, I mean he's still a big name. I mean he looked good in his last fight too. It's not like he's showing his age that bad. I mean, is he? How old is he? I feel like he's actually like he's not in his 40s. I know he's been in the sport a long time, but he's not in his 40s or anything. Hold on, let me check.
He's 38.
All right.
Oh, okay, he's a little bit older. I thought it was like 34. But no, that's crazy, man. His longevity is actually crazy.
Moving up after Dolidze Holland, I'm not sure is this just Kevin Holland filling a slot for Roman to get a decent looking fight on paper?
Yeah, I mean, Dolidze just fought what's his face, Anthony Smith, right? Was that his last fight? I remember.
He beat him in a decision.
Sort of a rough, right? Yeah. I mean, I think they're trying to sort of push Dolidze up or sort of like build him. So I don't know if Kevin's sort of a big name in the UFC, so maybe just trying to build him up in popularity.
Name value kind of thing.
Yeah.
Moving up, Ketlin Vieira versus Kayla Harrison, second and third at bantamweight. I'm thinking these two are kind of deciding who fights the winner of the co-main.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Kayla Harrison. Well, I mean, obviously, if she wins, the UFC is definitely going to match her up against whoever the champion is after after the 5th.
Kayla's gonna ragdoll this person. She's a minus 800 favorite, and it probably should be even bigger of a favorite. Being honest.
You think it's like unknown factor? I've never heard of Vieira, and
Also,
we're in the weeds with this shit.
I think I've seen her fight, but she's not memorable, so I don't think I've seen her fight before, but she's nothing crazy. But I don't know. I've seen Kayla Harrison lose live as well, even when she was a big favorite. So I don't know. I mean, anything's possible too. But she should win. On paper, she should win.
And so, yeah, we're moving up Aldo to this slot here because Aljamain Sterling and Movsar Evloev got canned.
Yeah, unfortunately. I was actually pretty excited for that fight, but this is a nice fight to fill it with.
Yes, definitely. So then in the co-main, Raquel Pennington, champion versus Juliana Pena, number one contender. Apparently the beef runs pretty deep with these two. Going back to...
They're trying... Yeah, that's what Juliana Pena is trying to say, that they've had beef since they were on the Ultimate Fighter, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, she could just be doing it to sell the fight too. I'm
not sure what to make of this. Raquel Pennington, well, they've both been around for a while, right? If they were on the Ultimate Fighter a long time ago.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Oh, actually, hold on. The odds have Raquel Pennington as like a slight favorite.
Slight.
Very, very slight favorite. I don't know. I thought Pena was gonna win this, but honestly, I'm not sure. I'd still lean Pena, but maybe the odds makers know more than I do about Pennington.
I'm not sure what else. Wait and see, I guess. And
yeah, I think Pena's also coming back from injury too, so I don't know if that's gonna affect things either. But I think the UFC probably want Pena to win. That way, the Harrison fight's a lot bigger.
Is there something between those two?
No. But like Pena's like sort of a bigger name. I feel like Pennington might be like one of the more, like, not to slight Pennington at all, but like sort of the more unknown wins on the UFC champ roster. And like Pena, you know, she got the win against Amanda Nunes. There's like, you know, there's some correlation with Nunes in that regard. So I think the UFC just likes how she promotes fights.
All right. And headlining, I'm going to cut in Alex's like walk-in music for this. I'm on the train, baby. I'm here for AP. AP's fucking run straight into the Hall of Fame here. First, Khalil Roundtree, rated 8th at light heavyweight. I don't know if I sent it to you guys, but there was some commentator, pundit guy that I saw on Instagram saying that Roundtree is going to not just beat AP, but he's going to stop him. Because Roundtree, his bread and butter is checking dudes that come forward just nonstop. And that's what AP is. I'm not sure. I mean, is that...
Yeah, well, it's true, but he's not fought a kickboxer near as technical as Alex Pereira. He's not just going to come in and throw naked overhands. He's going to set up his shots with his kicks and his jab, and he's going to... It's not going to be anything like Roundtree's seen before. If he were to win, it would be by knockout. If Pereira lost on decision, that would actually be more surprising to me than him getting chinned. It's hard to see that happening. The one thing that does concern me a bit is, you know, Alex doesn't really ever tuck his chin right, so it's sort of just hanging up there to get hit. But the way that he maneuvers around the octagon means that he's always moving backwards or away, or he's never just taking a haymaker to the chin, right? I guess if he were like, you know, caught like that would be how Roundtree would win. But I mean, it's hard to see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, I think this fight, I'm not gonna say like with 100% certainty, but it's like highly likely that there's gonna be a finish. I think both outcomes are possible. Like, you know, Alex could win by knockout. Khalil could win by knockout. What really interests me about this fight, though, is like Khalil has like a big Muay Thai background, and you know how Alex has like the leg kicks that he throws, like the calf kicks.
Yeah.
Like I wonder, like if Khalil's Muay Thai background, like is he gonna have like better reaction speed to like check those leg kicks? Like is that gonna become a big factor? Because that's like a big part of Alex's game, are those low leg kicks. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think both dudes have power to knock each other out. I would, of course, lean Poitin's way. I think, you know, like Nathan was saying, the technical kickboxer side of him, I think he'll be able to set up shots or see shots that can connect with Khalil, that, you know, knock him out. But I don't know. This fight is more interesting than I think people are believing it is. Okay. Like especially, you know, whenever it was first made, there was a lot of hate. You know, understandably, you know, the whole Ankalaev situation. But I think this is still a good fight, and it should be an exciting fight too. It should be a fun fight. Takedowns probably will not be seen in this fight.
That's what one of the that same video. I have to find it and send it to you guys. But they're saying the same thing, like that AP doesn't grapple. And that's going to be to Roundtree's advantage. And the same thing you pointed out was that he has a really strong striking background as well. So AP's what technicality and leg strength, kick strength, isn't going to be as much of a factor as people make it out to be. Yeah.
I mean, I think Alex will eke out the victory, or will get the victory. But I don't know, man. This is a fight where I'm not going to be surprised if Khalil, like, even like first round, gets a knockout versus Alex, because it's completely possible. Like, for all the boxing purists out there, you'll probably enjoy this fight because you're going to see a lot of kicks, punches, like, you know, striking. You're probably not going to see any grappling unless like someone is severely hurt. and they're trying to like reach for a leg or something like that.
Yeah, this is a kickboxer versus a Muay Thai fighter, right?
Yeah. So all the boxing fans, you're gonna want to tune in for this one.
Same reason I tell you guys to watch ONE FC for the kickboxing and the Muay Thai.
This is one of those styles of fights. Yeah.
Anything else? Who's that dude that got signed to UFC?
Oh, the
Ritter?
The guy from ONE.
Yeah.
White dude. Forget he
Rainier
light
de
heavyweight or
Ritter.
heavyweight?
He was.
Actually, I think he's fought in both. The guy has like a crazy record. I checked out some highlights. He looks good. I feel like it's definitely gonna inject some more life into these upper or these higher like weight divisions in the UFC.
Yeah, he was a 2-division champion, I think. And the fucking lunatic Anatoly Malikin was. I saw their second fight, and De Ritter just did not seem too keen on being in there with a maniac.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we're gonna have to see like his first fight in the UFC, if there is like a disparity between skill or not. But just off, on paper, I'm excited. Another guy to watch.
In this article thing that I'm looking at, it says the UFC is far from the most perfect promotion, but no matter what ethical quandaries you may have against the organization that has basically monopolized the top talent in the world, there's no denying that UFC CEO Dana White accomplished what he set out to do. Yeah, dude, I think that's kind of the problem.
And now he says he's coming over to boxing too.
Yeah, Zuffa, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, he's been saying that for years, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he's more keen on it now. Now that he's got Turkey's backing.
Right, and without...
I gotta say that, like, purely just for the fact that we might see more interactions between Dana White and Oscar de la Hoya.
Oof.
I'm
Yes,
I would actually be
please.
excited. I would actually be excited for that.
Yes, please. Do you think... I always thought or looked at that Dana White moving into boxing, the Zuffa promotions or whatever. I always looked at that as the same way Cuba set up Warriors boxing or Warriors promotions so that they could have their fighters go and fight professionally in the U.S. and not have to defect to do it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that this is what it is. Zuffa can have UFC guys cross into boxing if they want to for big fights or whatever, but they don't have to leave UFC to do it.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely facilitate things, like from that end.
UFC gets their cut.
I don't know. I gotta say though, like if they bring over some of that like UFC type production, like how they have the countdown and the embedded fight week videos, I would actually like to see that a lot more in boxing, just because now that Showtime is gone too. I don't know. I find myself wanting to see more of that behind the scenes stuff that the All Access episodes used to give us.
Yeah, even though PBC is still around, they seem to be doing really not that much in the way of like, high quality fight promotion stuff like that.
Yeah, the way they used to when they were with Showtime.
Yeah, or like documentaries that used to come out. I mean, that stuff is... I don't know if they don't realize that the fans love to see that stuff or what, but like they need to get on it.
Yeah, it's part of the fighting combat sports experience.
Yeah.
It's like
More
people like
content.
Hard Knocks for NFL.
If they can at least bring that over, I mean, that'll be a positive at least. I mean, I don't know. So someone needs to bring that back. Now that Showtime's gone, someone needs to bring that back.
PBC, now that it's on Prime, doesn't have that built-in network infrastructure the way they did with Showtime. Top Rank has it with ESPN. Matchroom, DAZN they've built it out. Took some time, but they got there.
Who's with Amazon? Is that PBC?
Yeah, PBC's on Prime.
Okay.
Because they're not quite geared for sports, right? It's a lot of movies and TV shows.
I mean, if Netflix is true to getting into sports, I wonder if they're gonna, or if they have any plans to do that
I hope
type
not.
of stuff. I guess we'll see with how well or how bad the Tyson card goes.
Yeah, that's what they're debuting with, right? Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Yeah, at the very least, we get Katie Taylor and Serrano rematch.
On De
Maybe at the
Ridder.
cost of.
Oh, go on.
Oh, is that the dude's name?
Yeah, De Ridder is the dude.
The Ritter.
They're saying here that he should get the same welcome that Michael Chandler and Askren got, since they had already accomplished a lot in other promotions. So there's really no need to throw in De Ridder with, well, I was going to say MVP versus Kevin Holland, but it's not quite as necessary, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think who they could even match him up with. I mean, because is he gonna like which division is he gonna choose to be in?
That's what I'm looking for.
I feel like that's if it's heavyweight,
At least light heavyweight.
at least like heavyweight.
Yeah, he's not interested in going to middleweight.
Uh,
Jan, Yuri,
maybe Jan, yeah.
Jamal Hill.
Nah, Jamal will probably.
He's waiting for
I mean, they
his
might
title
do-
shot, right?
Apparently, they might do Yuri versus Jamal. I feel like that's probably what they're trying to do.
Yeah, that would be kind of crazy if Hill got a title shot with no win in between. And before Ankalaev, that would be even crazier.
Oh god, yeah, that would be inexcusable, especially since Alex Pereira completely obliterated him. Do you guys think? And now that I'm thinking about it, like with it being in Utah, I don't even know if the fight will last long enough to actually see any effects, like in the main event. Do you think we're gonna be seeing like a lot of people gassing out?
Oh, I
Yeah,
forgot about
definitely.
that. Yes, absolutely.
That's a pretty normal thing to happen at these types of events.
Yeah,
But you are right. The main event won't last long enough for anyone to notice.
Yeah. The main event could legitimately be like a few minutes, and I would not be surprised. Joaquin Buckley has like a muscular build. I feel like Steven or like Wonder Boy might try to point fight him with karate, and like they let him gas out and then go on him hard later.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Wonder Boy's older too, so I mean, I don't know. That's actually a pretty interesting fight.
the rest of this article's like just shitting on ONE FC and slurping on Dana's nuts. And actually, speaking of whatever moral quandaries you might have, UFC reached an antitrust settlement worth $375 million.
Oh, they upped it. Is this one actually going to go through though?
It sounds like this is the settlement that they came to.
So they added 75 million to the settlement since the last time. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
It is 1,200 UFC fighters came forward in 2014. Holy shit. That's a lot of people.
I wonder what percentage of like their total roster that is.
What is kind of sad though is like, obviously there was a settlement and the fighters that were affected got paid out. Like that's a good thing, but like nothing is going to change because of this, right? They've avoided any kind of legal repercussion that would have caused them to change their business practices. This is just going to keep going on.
Yeah, this is just making UFC cut in the fighter a little more. It's on seems like on a one-time basis. There doesn't seem to be any rule changes that's going to make it a permanent thing.
I wonder if like the current fighters, like decades down the line, are going to be able to like re-sue for the same thing.
This is the settlement for the case Lee versus Zuffa. The other case, Johnson versus Zuffa, came out in 2021. That was a $335 million agreement, but that one was shouldered by the TKO Holdings Incorporated.
That's such a crazy amount of money.
That fucking back to back. That is a lot of cash.
If it happens one more time, bro, they're gonna be at $1 billion in settlements.
Here's this little line here. Jake Paul has been very vocal, calling on Dana White to increase base pay from $12,000 to $50,000. Is that the 10 by 10 shit that UFC does?
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. That is scummy.
Potential to win.
Well, I don't know if we want to get into this fucking legal shit. Maybe I'll ask RJ if he has a better summary than this fucking website. Well, there. I think we padded the clock a little bit. Quite nicely there. Let me see one of these. Thanks for listening to this episode of The Ultimate Effin' Casual, a Lux Media production. If you'd like to give your thoughts, or you need to let us know how casual you think we are, you can text our anonymous line at 833-589-7637. If you want to stand on business, call and leave a voice message, and we'll see if you're entertaining enough to make the final cut of the show. 833-LUXPODS. Can't go wrong. If you prefer to hit us up on social media, the account name is LVX Media Net. That's on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and all the rest of that shit. If you can't find us, chances are we're not on it. A lot of stuff gets cut from final releases for all kinds of reasons, so if you want the raw audio from our lips direct to your ears, look us up on Patreon, LVX Media Net, just like everywhere else. Intro and outro by Middle of Nowhere Beats, and for more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lvxmedia.net. That's where the shit goes. And so for this week, we have arrived at parting words.
I guess from my end, I'm just gonna say, I'll reiterate, I said it earlier, but boxing purists, tune in to this main event at least for UFC 307. That is a don't blink fight. That is textbook don't blink. It should be a good one.
Yeah, I'll follow up with that. UFC 307 is pretty much must-watch material. It's one of the best on-paper cards that we've had in a minute, and it should be a barn burner.
Then crack a cold one for UFC 307. Ha 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 ha! I was kind of saving it for that. All right, we will catch you next time on the other side of 307.
Yeah.
Peace.